How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 31st of December 2021. Last analysis for CHSB for the DAO for this year, 2021. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens going into 2022. I'll just remind everybody before I quickly go through the analysis that this isn't financial advice, and everything that I'm discussing today is for educational purposes only. The analysis is going to be quite quick and quite brief. There's not really much to discuss in terms of literally the last analysis. This is more of just, the kind of year that we've had. It's been quite slow, since sort of September all the way up to this point. You can see we did try and pop a little bit. We've had a few burns, some buybacks, but nothing of substance and no continuation, so we're going to kind of finish the year probably around about 60 to 65. I can't see us moving much outside of this range at the moment. Now, going into next year, Swissborg at the moment has basically started to become correlated to Bitcoin again. I've started to notice, right, that, as Bitcoin is holding everything down, Swissborg is also being affected by this, if only a little. The correlation was quite wide at one point, and then it became quite close, and then it was wide again. And at the moment, you can see that gap closing ever so slightly. So going into next year, I think one of two things needs to happen market-wide, okay? We need to see effectively Bitcoin really start to pick up some steam. Now, I had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago about Bitcoin, and I don't think Bitcoin's going to be, moving. This 100,000 keeps coming up all the time. Is it going to go to 100,000 in January? I firmly believe that it won't. If it does, great. I'll be quite surprised. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get a little bit more downside on Bitcoin going into the new year, potentially down to 45, maybe a little bit lower. Because we need to see some real momentum shift on Bitcoin. Everybody has their own opinion and idea, okay? And the reason I'm talking about Bitcoin so much is because we need it. Now we need Bitcoin to really start to move so we can pull the rest of the market with it. There are projects that are standalone that don't and will not be affected by Bitcoin, and that's absolutely fine. This happens. They have their own merits, they have their own project, they have their own team, and everything that they're doing is completely devoid of the space in general as a market-wide sentiment. And they do okay, but generally Bitcoin's holding everything down, and because Bitcoin's holding everything down, we're in a position now where we just have to wait for the volumes to really start to pick up. Now, going into the new year, we know that Swissborg is going to be releasing some things. Obviously, at some point next year, first quarter, second quarter, or the first half of next year, there's going to be implementations, thematics, the launchpad, and some other features, so these will all help the ecosystem and potentially get, Swissborg moving, CHSB moving again. But ultimately, we need volume, we need people, to be involved, and we need the numbers to start to increase, because I know where the liquidity is and I know where Swissborg needs to go, but it will only reach for that if we have market participation. And at the moment, we simply don't have that. The numbers are, they're increasing, but they're not increasing at a rate where, wow, something new's just happened, the buzz is there and everybody's jumping into CHSB. You guys know, obviously, that I've been holding CHSB for a very long time. And for me, it's always been that kind of forward thinking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I've got no intentions of getting out of CHSB. So when I do the analysis is really about pickup points. Where can I get in? Is it a good time to be focused on CHSB? Is it a good time to be paying attention? And at the moment, it simply isn't, simply because there's nothing happening, right? And it's been like that for quite some time. So I can go down to the 4 hour and I can explain all of this and what's happened and everything else, but ultimately it really doesn't matter, because we have to wait till next year now. So as we go into next year, fingers crossed we get some good news, across the market. Bitcoin starts to pick up, Ethereum starts to pick up, the general market consensus is bullish, for example, and things really start to gain some momentum going into January and February. February for me is key month, second week of February. Make a note of it. I think that's probably when we're going to see the biggest volumes to start with next year. So we'll see how it pans out. But again, the analysis itself, not really much to discuss. Stuck in this range for quite some time, and until we get some serious market participation, get that buzz back for CHSB, it's not really going to be going anywhere. And these burns will effectively just pop and come back, pop and come back. But overall, I think it's been a fantastic year, and I'm really looking forward to 2022. I think 2022 is going to be a very, very interesting year. Globally, I think it's going to be very interesting for the crypto space in general. I think NFTs are going to have a big role to play in 2022, and I think the metaverse is also going to have a big role to play, in 2022. So lots to look forward to. And with that said, guys, I wish everybody a very, very good new year. I hope everybody has a great time this evening. If you haven't already, gone through your new year, I believe Australia, they're ahead. I can never work it out. But either way, I hope everybody has a fantastic time. And I will speak to you guys in the new year. All the best and take care.